they conquered the Tequesta Indians. We need the Tequesta Indians
There
one,
he
okay?
is.
Come on, like
There
let's
he
do
is.
it for real. All right, guys. Last week, I panicked a little bit. Watched the first preseason game. Didn't go very well. And you guys all saw the reel. So I'm going to let you know that LBO is doing our part. And we brought a special guest to help get our prayers right and make sure that we're going to have a good year. So we're introducing today Father Manny onto the pod to do our best.
Hey guys, welcome back to Little Big Opinions. I'm Big.
And I'm Little.
And we have the incomparable Father Manny, pastor of
St. Teresa.
St. Teresa, Little Flower. I was going to say Little Flower. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
So far, so good. We need un depojo. We need a cleansing.
You need a santero for that. So let me walk out.
Yeah. But before we go on, we're gonna bring the Miami Dolphins Fan Experience Volume 2 today with Father Manny. Also, what we're gonna be doing is we want you to like and subscribe 786 Sports. This episode is brought to you by La Rubia. And we're going to go off of a few questions with Father Manny. But first, there was a preseason game this year. So we wanted to talk a little bit preseason. We want to talk about ball talk with Father Manny. But most importantly, we want to explain how we got here, who Father Manny is, ask him a few questions. So, Chris, go ahead.
All right. So we all know that here on the pod, we've known each other for a long time. Father Manny is on that same long time. We've known you before you were Father Manny. Mm-hmm. You were just Manny. That's so right. I don't think you like the name Father Manny, right? You like Father Alvarez better?
No, Father Manny's fine.
Father Manny's
fine. Nobody calls you Father Alvarez.
No. Okay. But you can blame us for that, right? A little bit?
Because you guys called me Manny for years. In fact, behind the scenes, and if we're not on night, you should call me Manny.
Yeah, well.
Nobody's allowed to do that, though.
Yeah, no, Father Manny.
That's a good question, though. That's a good statement because I used to call Father Esteves, who baptized me and became Archbishop, right?
He's a
bishop. Esteves, yeah, exactly. Right? So are you kind of like, like Seal? Like Father Seal? No. Is it normal to call a father by his first name?
No. So we would. It depends on the priest. Like Father Alvarez and I, the one at Epiphany, both have the same last name, so he goes by Father Alvarez, I go by Father Manny. But literally from the first moment I was ordained, mainly because of you guys, and your principal hated that you guys called me by my first name.
Yeah.
Back then.
I would imagine so. We were what?
Carlota?
We're 11.
Dr. Carlota Morales.
Morales, please respect.
Yeah, for real.
Dr. Morales. I mean, phenomenal principal, and she won an award from the White House. I remember.
She did.
Incredible what she did.
Yeah.
But a little bit more about you. So you're a lifelong Dolphins fan?
Lifelong Dolphin fan. And I was born during a Monday Night Football game. Actually, a little after that Monday Night Football game. In fact, everybody has the paper the day that they were born. I was born September 23rd, 1975. And the night before, so I guess it was September 22nd, they played Oakland in the Coliseum. And the next morning, Dolphins lose. Story of my life.
Yeah.
To Oakland in a Monday Night Football game. But that's 2 years after the Sea of Hands game, which my dad still hasn't gotten over. And it was the end of the Dolphins dynasty. Warfield and Zonka.
Right.
And
Were they still there?
No, they had taken off to the World Football League. And so I was born. So my front page has Dolphins lose to Oakland. So my dad is literally holding on my mom's hand and what's the score? And then I guess my first, you do the whole baby shoot. When you're first born, my first was literally just like this, a Dolphin football. What was ironic is that, I'm about a week or two old, is that I can't do this now because I'm a priest. My little middle finger was right over the ball. So harbinger of things to come. Now, when the Dolphins celebrated their 50th season, they, you guys are season ticket holders. I don't know if you got the brochure. I had shown that picture earlier to Tom Garfinkel, the CEO of the Dolphins. He put that picture somewhere in a collage of the Dolphin sports fans.
Right. With the middle.
I don't know if it was the one with the middle finger, but it was me
the baby
draped
shoot
over a Dolphin football.
By the way, so 50th birthday coming up, like in the next few weeks,
in a month.
Big bash. Hopefully we're invited now.
I hear things. I cannot confirm nor deny. I have nothing to do with it. My parishioners are.
Well, Ryan, how do you know about that?
How about I know about what?
He talks to people.
Yeah, he talks
He
too much.
just said his birthday September 23rd, 1975.
1975. He does math.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He learned math.
Well, sorry, folks. Sorry about
He
that.
learned that. He learned math from Ana Maria Rodriguez. Come on.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Gold.
Call out.
She's the goated.
She
She's
also
the goat.
watches the pod. So
She's
she
goated.
I appreciate that for
Shout
sure.
out to the
She's goated
Rodriguezes.
for sure. So you also have some history with the organization as
do.
well.
I was the Dolphin chaplain from 2011 to 2015, so for 5 seasons. So imagine this. You guys are 2 schlubs here talking about the Dolphins. If somebody told you, go on the sidelines and just take in the Dolphins, locker room experience, get on the flights with the Dolphins, do everything behind the scenes, it's like your heads explode.
Yeah.
Right.
And so obviously I'm the team chaplain, and I started with Tony Sproul. All he wanted was one priest, because he would have different priests every week. He goes, I just want one priest, and I had just moved to St. Gregory Parish and Plantation, which is about, I don't know, a mile or 2 miles north of the Davy camp when they were up there. And so I go down there, and he said, oh, we just want one guy. And so we'd go to the hotel, the team hotel, before home games. They'd slip me 2 tickets to the game, stipend for the mass. And I could never, I think I went to the first game because it was a Monday night game. Remember that 99-yard pass that Brady threw to, I think it was Wes Welker?
Yes.
I mean, we remember specific plays when you're a diehard Dolphin fan and you're saying the middle is wide open, and it's like
back-breaking plays. They're never memorable plays on our side of the ball, right?
no,
it's
it
always against us.
no. I mean, I do
There's a few.
remember. I do remember Chad Henne to Ted Ginn against the Jets.
That was a big
that was
one.
a good.
Or the
play.
Miracle and the Miracle in Miami.
The Miracle in Miami. You remember that one?
Have you heard where this guy was?
Where were you on that one?
He was in the stadium
I was
that
in the
day.
parking lot because I was leaving.
You pulled a Ray Allen Heat fan there.
So I blame my friend Hobby for. I blame my friend Hobby for this.
And you had to.
No, that's
on
fine.
That one.
This is
You
the
can't
funny
live it down.
story.
You can't
but-
live it down.
But my friend Hobby, who's a
Right.
Jet fan, coincidentally enough,
Oh, no.
it was his birthday, and I've been here before, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at the time. Brady's gonna get the ball back. There's no reason why we're gonna get the ball. I wasn't expecting him to throw a bomb and have a pass interference for no reason, because there was no reason to do that.
No.
So that was the only reason why they had a chance to come back. I was wrong, but like you, if I'm there, usually they lose. So when I'm there, they lose. So
Thank you.
I was trying to do my
Thank you,
best
Chris.
and have them win.
So, anyways, so Tony Sproul had me on the first year, and then obviously Tony gets fired. God rest his soul. Great human being, a wonderful family. And I think it was in December we lost to the Eagles, and the fireman hired, and Todd Bowles became the interim head coach of the Bucs right now. And Bowles doesn't get the job. They hired Joe Philbin, who was a hot name that year, because I think the year before he had won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Thing is, he didn't bring Aaron Rodgers with him.
Right.
We drafted.
They forgot
Ryan
that
That would
part.
have been nice.
That would have been a nice, that version of Aaron Rodgers, not the current
ayahuasca and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, so when Joe Philbin comes down here, one most wonderful human being you've ever met, and Green Bay has had chaplains since the time of Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi would go to mass every day. He would read at mass every day. Go to communion every day. He would be an altar server for the priests, and so he puts me in touch with the chaplain of the Green Bay Packers. Oh, this is what I do and all this stuff. I say in the press box. I'm on the sideline. Obviously, it depends on where you are in Green Bay and what time of year. At the end of the year, he would stay with the Murphy family up there, the president of the team. And so I go down and I get a call from the manager of the team, who's the one that puts together the road trips and the schedules and all that. He says, listen, coach wants you to go on the road for us. And now, after I had regained consciousness, I go, can you repeat that? And I'm like, there's no way the Archbishop's going to let me do it. There's no way I wasn't a pastor at the time. There's no way my pastor's going to let me do it. So I go tell my pastor. He goes, no, you got to do it. You got to do it. He was big about PR. I told the Archbishop. He says, fine, that's okay. So the first game that I went to was a preseason game against Carolina in Charlotte. And Cam Newton was out there doing this.
The Superman.
Superman.
Whatever. And I was there. And so I had been asking people, okay, what do I do during the game? I mean, my main function was celebrate mass for the team the night before, say prayers with the team. Usually the team would do it themselves, or player would do it before the game. But during the game, what do I do? And I wasn't going to ask coach. Coach was busy. I would never interfere with them on game days. And so you could stay in the press box. You could even tell me you could sit in the coach's box up there. And I go, that's too high voltage. And so finally, I'm in the locker room and I get to know the doctors. They're still on TV. Dr. Uribe, all the doctors you see on TV. And Father, just stand with us on the sideline or on the 30-yard line. So I'm in the tunnel getting ready to go out to the game, to go out on the field as the team's being introduced. And I'm towards the back. And I'm thinking, okay, we're just going to walk out on the field. All of a sudden, we start jogging and I start running behind the team. I'm like, this is not happening.
It's like a stampede.
I am running out with
field.
my hometown team onto a football field.
Oh,
professional
what a
football
moment.
game. By the way, fun fact, and I sent you that video the other day, Hard Knocks was filming that year.
For the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
First year film.
Oh,
So-
Chad Ochocinco.
Chad
and stuff,
Ochocinco.
yeah.
I was called out of a wedding because he was arrested. I had mass with him the next morning. The only time that the cameras tried to get into mass, and I'm like, yeah, dude, get out. But that game, the Carolina game, was the famous viral clip of Dan Campbell. Kim Bokamper told the story during the broadcast
This weekend, during the broadcast.
He didn't say the name of the player. Maybe I don't know if he forgot it. Kim's a great guy, but it was Michael Agnew. Total bust.
Yep.
And
The
that
run
was a
pick.
viral clip of Dan Campbell lighting into you gotta block.
You gotta go block
it.
for
You
him.
gotta- and it pan out, and there's a clueless priest not knowing what he's doing in the background, and they're really not helping the team in any way. Every now and then I give somebody a Gatorade or pick up, in a cold game, pick up a raincoat. But other than that, the only time I really did something tangible during the game was, I hate Houston. Houston had the worst turf ever. We were playing Houston in a preseason game.
The new one? The new stadium?
The new stadium. Dustin Keller has his knee blown out.
Oh.
It happened literally right.
NRG Stadium.
It happened right in front of me, so everybody knew, and I led a prayer in the middle. That was the only time. Thankfully, the only time I had to do that.
That you had to go
in
on
the
the
middle
field.
of the game.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
scary.
That was, and the thing is that he was connecting with Tannehill and everything in that training camp. I mean,
Who was?
Dustin
Keller
Keller.
and Dustin Keller and
Oh,
Ryan
yeah,
Tannehill.
he had
that
a
was in
huge-
2013, I want to say, and he was doing so great, and to see, and that was the last play of his career. I saw his
never-
knee explode right
Yeah,
in front
he
of me.
never played again.
He never played again, but that would be nice to have a tight end we could throw to these days.
Yeah, speaking of tight ends, so there was some news today in training camp. We
That's
have to
right.
bring it out. The Miami Dolphins have signed edge rusher Matthew Judon. Now, we said edge rusher, Father. We didn't say cornerback or offensive lineman or
Yeah,
tight end.
I mean, can he cover somebody?
Yeah, who knows? He's pushed. He's on the other side of 30. Was very productive a few years back with the Patriots and with the Ravens, but edge rusher. When you got so many holes on the rest of the roster, and we bring up tight end, maybe he could play tight end for us.
Exactly. I mean, because when's Waller seeing the field?
Yeah.
Well, yesterday on Fox News or whatever, Rosenhaus did come out and say that don't worry, he's gonna play, he's gonna be fine, he's ready to go. Hopefully we get to see him this week. But McDaniel did say he doesn't want it to be the first practice in team practice with another team. So I don't know. I guess I have to hold off another
We
week.
only have one practice with Jacksonville.
Yeah, I
this
don't.
week.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's off the
I don't know-
PUP.
I don't
Is he
know.
off the PUP
he's not
list?
off yet. But
Okay.
Rosenhaus was saying like, don't worry about it. That's not a concern.
I mean, but it would be nice to get some reps before Indy. I mean,
You would-
just-
You would think.
You would
But
think, right?
speaking of Indy and cornerbacks that were out there, they kicked the tires on one of our former cornerbacks.
Yes,
I
they
mean,
did. You're up.
why can't we throw X-Man out there?
Yeah, Xavier Howard signed today with the Indianapolis Colts. He's gonna suit up against us week 1.
He's still available. Kendall Fuller's still available. Like there's guys out there that we can sign to help the team right now. But I don't know.
But remember,
what's going on.
Chris Greer told us to our faces that offensive line wasn't a concern going into last year, and they were confident in our quarterback room also.
You're
So-
spitting facts here. I
I'm
mean, you're
that's
coming
what-
right into
that
LBO's
is-
wheelhouse. I'm
That
telling you right-
is what I'm called to do, is preach the truth. It's like
Yeah, I mean we don't understand the build. I think that's completely what was evident after this week. Is what I came out saying preseason. It was a better preseason game.
It was.
We have some things that we could possibly talk about, but at the end of the day, you're looking and it's just like roster construction is not there, and you have to question it. The offensive line has been a question since 2023. I keep pointing that out because
Since 2000.
forever.
Yeah,
come
a long
on.
time.
But in 2023 was the first time as Dolphin fans
Oh, yeah.
in my lifetime that I thought, hey, we really got a chance at
We do.
maybe making a Super Bowl at some point.
that team was a very good
And
team.
since
70-point game,
2023, every hole is still a hole, if not worse.
Mm-hmm.
And we just continue ignoring things. Like there's common sense stuff. If we don't have a corner, we need to draft a corner, and we don't draft a corner. We trade up last year from the 4th round to the 3rd round to get a running back. That we already had running backs. This year we traded back in the bulk of the draft when we could have just gotten bodies. I don't see it, guys. So that's what I'm thinking. But how are you feeling about the current team?
Okay. I feel a little better than most about the current team, I have to be honest, because there's a lot of great players at the skill positions. But they can only get you so far, but most of these skilled players have injury histories. Jalen Phillips, a phenomenal rusher, but he needs to stay on the field. And listen, and there are 2 freak injuries. God bless him. But he also had a freak injury in college. Mm-hmm. So had an amazing pro day, was drafted rightly by the Dolphins, was great. That 2023 season, we were rolling along, and then boom, he blows out his knee, his ACL. Was it ACL? Yeah, it was ACL.
That was the ACL. No,
that was the
Achilles.
The Achilles in the Meadowlands on that Black Friday game.
Oh, it's the worst.
And he was having a great game.
Talk about bad fields, that Meadowlands.
I stood on that field. The fact of doing the World Cup in that swamp, it reminds me of a scene from a Joe Pesci film that I can't repeat right now, when he walks up to a house. So that's that stadium, that Life Stadium. But anyways, Jalen Phillips goes down, Bradley Chubb goes down. All these guys go down towards the end of the year, and then Tua, who we're always saying stay healthy, he stayed healthy that whole year.
Right. Because he didn't try to extend plays.
No, but you're right. Cornerback, it's like a glaring hole. Offensive line, we really haven't seen the starters out there, and that's another question I have. With this new preseason, it used to be like, okay, first is preseason, we used to have 4, but the third preseason game, you saw
everybody
half of the starters, then maybe one play. And I lived that because they would make adjustments at halftime. It was a dress rehearsal for the regular season. No one knows how to do this. Like Cincinnati played Zach Taylor, played Joe Burrow, and the starters a couple weeks ago. Joe Burrow didn't play all last year, and they got off to a slow start. So let's say, all right, let's go. Having a defense would help, but that's another story for Cincinnati. But for us, I don't know what the logic is. Tua starts one series last week. This week doesn't start.
Nothing at all.
Is something going to happen this week?
At this, I'm not going to get on McDaniel too much about that because it seems like everybody doesn't know what to do. It would make common sense. Either you don't play at all week 1 or one drive. Then week 2, play a little bit more. And week 3, you play exactly like 1, 2, and 3. And 4, you have completely off. It would be the same exact thing. But again, common sense doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't happen in the NFL for some reason. They overthink things because they're so smart, and they are smart human beings. I'm not trying to say they're not, but sometimes we overthink things.
If Tua's out on the field in the second preseason game or third preseason game, and he takes a hit and he's out for concussion, McDaniel's probably not seeing the light of day.
Absolutely.
So
you're right.
They're protecting the goods. There's not a lot of depth on this team right now. I think a lot of people can say that. So risking injury for your top line players is a risk. Now, do I agree with it? No, I think we're going to start off slow, and that's not something that we can get after because it is an easier part of the schedule in the first half of the year.
I keep telling it to
we need to take advantage because in the dog days of December and hopefully January, it's going to be tough.
But somebody said to me the other day, no, Indy's a tough. I go, Indy doesn't even have a starting quarterback.
Yeah, no, you have to win that game. If we lose that game, Father Manny, then we're going to blow everything up.
And you got it's the Jets the second game of the year.
No, the second game is our home opener against New England.
Against the Pats, and then we get the Jets at the end of the month, and then Buffalo Thursday night. It's like, why do we have Buffalo on Thursday night on the road? That's like setting us up for failure. Listen, if you win that game, then.
Oh,
all right. We're off and running. But
I'm going to need an exorcism if we need that. Yeah.
If you win that game, then you have a chance to go against the Jets and then be 3-0 in the
division.
In the division.
That'd be great.
In the first month, 4-0.
But Ryan said it's true. That first half of the schedule breaks favorably if you win the games that you should win. But here's the thing. Should we win those games? That's the question everybody has. Because right now, 8.5 is the number that not that I'm advocating for things that happen on your phones, but 8.5 is the number. My cousin said to me the other day, pound the under. I'm like, I don't think so. Yeah. But the thing is, then we're stuck in the middle.
We are.
We are stuck. We're going to be stuck in the middle.
Vegas knows what they're doing. We're always 8-9, 9-8, 7-10.
Now, my question is, we started off the pod with my overreaction of the first preseason game. Give us your interpretation. You've been there. You're telling us you've been there. What have you seen that should give us hope that just because it's bad now doesn't mean it's going to translate to the season or vice versa? Is there anything
my positive takes, I love what the defensive line is doing. I think Jordan Phillips is great. I love Quinn Ewers a lot more than I don't love Zach Wilson at all. The Jets stays with you. There's only one player that's played for us that's played for the Jets that took us to a higher level, and that's Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great player.
I mean, our last division title.
Yeah.
So have we not learned our lesson from Mike White last year? Mike White stunk it up for Buffalo over the weekend.
Oh, big time.
We haven't learned our
38
lessons
to 0.
evidently anywhere. So,
But I do love Ollie Gordon II.
Let's
big
go.
Man, big
Let's
man,
go. Hands
big
up.
man. I mean, what was McDaniel since he's been here has not been able to figure out third and fourth and short. I love when he goes forward on fourth down. I think that's going around the league.
Yeah.
It's not just Dan Campbell, although it did cost Dan Campbell a game not last year, but also the year before going to the Super Bowl. But I love when he goes on fourth down, and with he has a creative mind and he has the weapons to be able to make a yard. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It happened on the first drive for Tua in the first preseason game, but and even then Tua was a little bit, Achan was out there, and who knows if he got injured on that because he's been out. But going back to this weekend's game, there were some positives. Listen, that's a great Detroit Lion team. Apparently, we got blown out in that first practice.
right, the first one.
And here's the thing I say about preseason, because again, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been to training camps. It means nothing.
All right.
Listen
Adam
to the guy.
Beasley was going on. I felt like tweeting. I was looking for a tweet because after the third preseason game in 2015, my last year with the team, we were firing on all cylinders. Every single time the starters took the field, we scored a touchdown in preseason. Training camp, they were on fire. Everything. Adam Beasley goes out and posts, and I'm not hating on Adam Beasley. I've never met the man. He's a good reporter. This team's going 11-5 and going to the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. We start off 1-4. Coach gets fired after the game in London.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, what? And remember, we won the first game in Washington because Jarvis Landry brought back a touchdown, on a punt return. The second game we go to Jacksonville, an inferior team, and I am blanking on the dude's name right now, but I could still remember the turning point of the game. Tannehill throws to a guy who used to be with Green Bay, and I'm blanking on his name right now, but
Greg Jennings?
Greg Jennings, thank you. Greg Jennings coming across the middle, wide open on a third down, drops the pass. Everything just erode. We were shell shocked coming out of that game. Play Buffalo the next week, get blown out of the building. We fly across the Atlantic to play the Jets, and get blown out of Wembley.
Yeah.
And it's all history.
It's all history. But I remember all four of those games so vividly. And then Dan Campbell takes over. We play Tennessee, and we kick them out of Nissan Stadium.
That is my one huge fear about this year, which why I can't say for sure we're going to have a good season, and you can or can't speak to it. But it definitely seems there's a turning point where the team just gives up on the coach, and then it doesn't matter how good or talented you are. If the team gives up on the coach, it doesn't matter.
I don't think it was the case that year because there were other factors at play there, but you see it from the outside as well.
Yeah.
I think that when Brian Flores was here, I think the team played hard for Brian Flores. I mean, were you all not shocked the day after the season when he was fired?
Yeah.
I was shocked. I mean, I thought he was a good coach. We find out later he didn't have a great relation with Tua. I think he managed Tua well.
Yeah, no.
When we signed Fitzpatrick, God bless him, he was a great player every 4 games. But, taking Tua out, putting Fitzpatrick in, it was like, okay, you go to the bullpen when you need a starting or relieving pitcher. It doesn't work in football.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Tua made light of that. Was it before last season about how it was with Coach Flores? And then it depends what happens in preseason, what happens in training camp. That's why when people were freaking out about that practice against Detroit on Twitter, I'm laughing in my office. I go, are we serious? It's the Allen Iverson meme. We're talking about practice.
Yeah.
And then the next day, no one talks about that. They dominated the second day of practice.
Exactly.
And we beat them in the actual football game.
It's easy to be a punching bag for the Dolphins and, to punch them down and stuff like that. But it's preseason, guys. I think the Eagles last year went 0-4 or 0-3 in preseason. They won a Super Bowl.
But they have an offensive line, right?
Yeah. That's how the conversation started. I was panicking. You saw the panic, and you texted me. It was like, "Hey, relax, buddy. It's gonna be okay."
I wanted to send you the Aaron Rodgers. Relax,
Yeah.
So real quick, some overreaction or underreaction. Overreaction. Quinn Ewers should be the second quarterback behind Tua Tagovailoa. Overreaction or underreaction?
Well, quickly, that's honestly, it's an overreaction. I think. I don't think Zach Wilson's very good like you do. Mm-hmm. I think Quinn Ewers is fine. I think he's a 7th round rookie. Just leave him where he's going to be. I don't think he's going to win us any games.
I think he's right on the nose. Quinn Ewers played professional football in college. He played in SEC stadiums.
Great point.
Almost made it to the semifinals in the college football playoff. Played very well on the road. This man knows pressure. Now, he stunk it up in the first game, fumbled the ball twice. That's inexcusable. And by the way, fumbleitis has been there. They fumbled twice, but we recovered both of them in the first quarter of this game. But the thing is, you see Zach Wilson as a statue in the pocket. And this is a man who, was made famous and his stock went up because he threw a 70-yard pass during pro day. Congratulations.
So did Jamarcus Russell.
And so did Jeff George. I was going to go a little further back. I'm sorry. My age is showing. But yeah, so did Jamarcus Russell. So it's like we have a body of evidence. Now, can people be rehabilitated? Look at Sam Darnold last year with Minnesota. But Zach Wilson doesn't have that it factor. This guy played for Texas. This guy played in a big-time blue chip marquee SEC school, played on the road in the SEC, played in the college football playoff. I don't mind rolling into the season and him as my backup. Can't be worse than last year.
Yeah, I don't think it's an overreaction. In my opinion, he should be number 2. Now let's move on. Jalen Wright should not be in front of Ollie Gordon. Is that an overreaction? Should Jalen Wright be the third running back behind Ollie Gordon?
So we know that you guys both love Ollie Gordon. It's not that I don't like Ollie Gordon. It's just that's the easy take right now. But that's not an overreaction. I think he should be the number 2. I think Jalen Wright has shown us everything we need to see. He clearly has a vision problem. He can't hit the holes when they're there or not fast enough. So
Are the holes even there?
There was but he bounced it out and then he got stripped.
Yeah, exactly.
He got stripped and Tanner Connor picked it up.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it would have been a fumble in the red zone.
Absolutely.
But Ollie Gordon, what you saw in last game is that he doesn't go down on the first hit. You can't bring up. It's no arm tackling. He's like you said, Adrian Peterson. He's super big, tall guys, and he looks more like Latavius Murray than he does.
Okay,
Adrian
that's
Peterson.
fine.
I don't think it's an overreaction. I love Ollie Gordon.
Yeah.
He's a Doak Walker winner. I'm shocked that he dropped that far in the draft. I think it was a great find. We didn't need, going back to your original, we didn't need a running back.
No, we did not.
We did not. I mean, this poor kid got injured last week.
Alexander Madison. Yeah.
Exactly. So it wasn't a position of need, but having that guy available and a big back to ram it through when you need a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and goal at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
We know McDaniel's going to go for it, so why not?
Yeah.
No, the thing is that you have an embarrassment of riches in the backfield, which is good. So you could.
Do we though? Not really.
I mean, the thing is that you have
Achane's hurt again.
Achane's hurt. You're right.
And he was hurt last year.
He was.
They might have known what Jalen Wright was when they made that move for Ollie Gordon too in the draft.
Could be.
right.
Right.
Maybe after
And
a full
bringing
year.
Madison and drafting someone else. Yeah, they may have.
But I mean, but it's not like the cornerback room
No,
or
I
the
agree.
OL room.
No.
It's not a weakness on this
It's
football
not.
team.
So I don't think it's an overreaction. No.
Another position that is not a weakness is the wide receiver group, but there's a lot of young wide receivers that have been showing out in preseason, right? So Theo Weiss Jr., 2 touchdowns, has clearly a good rapport with Quinn Ewers. Taj Washington, 2nd year with the Dolphins, playing very well. Malik Washington, obviously, we know is going to be on the team. And then D. Eskridge, another player who's showing out of Western Michigan. Is it an overreaction that 2 or 3 of these guys are going to make the team with that star-studded wide receiver group that we already have?
Well, I didn't get this reference last week when you made it, but I'm going to go ahead and put my cap back on.
Tinfoil
My
cap?
tinfoil cap so that the aliens can't read my mind. That's the reason why we wear those, not because that's a conspiracy. But I still think Tyreek's getting traded. I mean, you saw Tua's comments on the sideline. I didn't like. Why is Tua making those comments? Did you see those comments?
Listen, you're a quarterback of the NFL for a franchise. You need to be professional and keep it black and white. Okay,
You said your comment the first time. But at this point, yes, I agree with you.
I listen. I don't think Tyreek will be traded. If he wasn't traded already, you could have had draft capital this past May or April. I don't see it happening right now unless somebody says, "Here's my star cornerback." Why would it happen? You can't roll into the season with just Waddle and then good group of players.
Yeah.
But these are marquee wide receivers. These are receivers that are playmakers. And Tua's healthy. He has a connection. He's in rhythm with these. And then that's another thing. You got to get in sync with these receivers. You do that at the beginning of training camp. You can't do that now in the middle of August. That's that's just my take.
It's a great point. I remember last year we picked up somebody, and it might have been Robbie Chosen or somebody that came in late in a game, or it was a Claypool, and they just missed a route with Tua being a timing route through a late fourth quarter interception, and the game was over, right?
Yeah.
And it was because the wide receiver was in the place that he had to be. So
And
this offense is all about timing.
It is. That's exactly what I was about to say. Daniel, you have to get the ball out fast, and the receiver has to be there. You saw what the two quarterbacks that were in the game on Saturday.
But isn't that what Tua's saying, that he's not on the same page with them?
With Tyreek?
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
off
what
the
he's-
field.
that's what he's
Maybe
saying.
off the field, but on the field, they have
is.
the,
He had two 1,800-yard receivers.
I would love to keep him on the
Receiving
team. I'm with you guys.
But why do you think that he's going to be traded?
I'm just reading the tea leaves here. I have my cap on. I mean,
I don't know.
is he really injured?
Tyreek?
Yeah,
I don't think they were going to play him.
I
don't
get
think
it,
they're gonna play him this Saturday.
but he's not practicing now. He's not on the field. They got to get on the same page, but he's not on the same page. They don't talk anymore. Apparently, they don't. I don't know. I don't like it.
I'll
give you another conspiracy theory
Go for
later. No.
Oh, you want to save for later?
Yeah.
But I don't see. Rich Eisen has a great segment called Salty Tua. I think Tua's leaning into that a little too much lately. And like I said, yes, keep it black and white, keep it bland. Just go about your business at your play. Do the talking on the field. That's it.
He's definitely trying to take over the team. But
Last one, overreaction. This is the best defensive front in the NFL.
this is a perfect time for my other conspiracy theory, and I'm going to tell you that's a huge overreaction.
Oh, come on.
Best defensive line in
Jordan
the NFL.
Phillips, as you mentioned earlier, had 1.5 sacks this week. Is always in the backfield.
He said-
Biggers.
he said, we're just
Dickerson,
talking about practice. He just
McClendon,
told you this already. What are you
Murphy.
talking about?
These
No.
are all studs. Now you got Judon. You got Bradley Chubb. I mean, the list goes on. This front seven is loaded.
It's loaded, but give me a better front seven.
The Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them left. I'm saying that without knowing.
Buffalo Bills.
When we traded
Buffalo
today,
Bills. Their
Yeah.
defense is suspect. Yeah.
The defensive line specifically is what you're asking
No, I'm
about.
saying front seven, buddy.
Baltimore Ravens.
they got Russo.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers?
Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Miami
Okay.
Dolphins.
I mean, apparently, listen.
Cleveland Browns?
What they're
I
trying
mean-
to do is rush the
One
quarterback
guy.
and pretend it and hope the quarterback doesn't expose our secondary. That's
Exactly.
That's the only
Right.
way we could win.
Right. So here's my conspiracy theory.
Here we go.
We have another person that's been injured, and now we just signed a defensive end.
Jalen Phillips.
Are we trading Jalen Phillips?
No, come on.
Why? You see what I deal with here?
After what this poor man's been
I'm-
through the last two seasons.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Come
I'm
on.
reading tea leaves here, guys. If things start to drop later, don't come at,
At
me,
this
okay?
point-
it makes zero
It
sense.
makes no-
First of
no
all,
sense.
Why are we
there's no
signing
tape.
him?
There is no. You think anybody's going to trade for Jalen Phillips? There's no tape of him right now. He hasn't been on the practice. Hasn't been in the preseason.
When you're desperate, you
Two
do desperate
drastic
things.
injuries in
like
the
some-
last 2
nobody's
years.
gonna- Nobody's going to touch him with those
right.
injuries.
Okay.
I mean, listen.
I'm just
that guy
throwing
when he's
out
on the
conspiracies.
field. What I mean, he's a beast.
Yeah, but how do you
He's a
pay? How do you
beast.
pay? If you're the Dolphins, how do you pay him?
It doesn't matter, Chris.
Right
That's-
now in August, you don't worry about
Yeah.
paying anybody. You worry about that now
Right.
in February
Exactly.
and March.
You got to be on the pod more,
Is he
okay?
gonna, make it or what?
Huh?
Is he gonna make it?
Of course
or,
he is.
Of course,
gonna
he's-
make it.
He looked fine on walking around on.
Now, if the front seven is not dominant,
Injured again.
this is
Injured
a
again.
bad football team.
It is.
This is going to be a bad football team. So, but now we get to the fun part. We have some questions for you.
Go for it.
Dolphins Fan Experience Volume 2.
Here we go.
What's your earliest memory as a Dolphins fan, and what made you fall in love with this team?
Well, basically, my grandparents lived 3 blocks from the Orange Bowl, and my dad would take me from very early age. My uncle as well, and we would. That was back in the day when you could sneak into the Orange Bowl after halftime. Not sneak into it, just let
Wow,
you in.
that's amazing.
Okay, I went to a preseason game against Kansas City, I believe, in the early '80s. My first vivid memory was my eighth or ninth birthday. No, it was my 9th birthday. My dad bought good tickets on the 50-yard line. See Dan Marino, our Super Bowl year against the Indianapolis Colts, our first year in Indianapolis. We blew them out 41-7 or something like that, and it was amazing. It was you saw Marino, that lightning quick release. Those are my earliest memories. Obviously, I remember the '82 run to the Super Bowl. I remember the '84 run to the Super Bowl. I remember the '84 better. My father has vivid memories that '82 Super Bowl against Washington. Everybody forgets we went into that fourth quarter with the lead.
Riggins, John
But before
Riggins,
Riggins, and my father will be the first one to mention this. Kim Bokamper is a wonderful human being. I saw him in a wedding last month, and the Redskins were driving. Commanders now, excuse me, were driving, and in the fourth quarter, Bokamper had an interception at the goal line in his hands and dropped it, and would have turned the tide of that game. And then later on, Riggins had that iconic run to the end zone. But that game was very close. The San Francisco game, not so much.
No.
Super Bowl 19. But it's been that long. It's been 41 years since our last Super Bowl appearance. So I remember I was in 5th grade when we went to the Super Bowl. We all went nuts going out in the streets. I've always told people, we've seen Panther celebrations more recently, the Heat celebrations, the Marlins celebrations. This town would sink into the ocean the day the Dolphins win a Super Bowl.
I get choked up thinking about it. Thinking about how wonderful life would be if the Dolphins just went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but we're Dolphin fans. We're made to suffer.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Not this year.
We'll get to it at the end. I have one question for you.
Sure.
I'm going to have to ask you as a priest what you think can happen with this. But the next question I'll say is, which Dolphins moment, good or bad, has stuck with you the most over the years?
The worst, you sent me these, and I was thinking, what's my worst? The one that came to mind immediately was the Miracle at the Meadowlands, or the meltdown at the Meadowlands.
Monday night
the
game?
Monday night
You were in
game?
7th grade, yeah, Monday night game.
Oh, I remember that
My
night.
dad, I woke up and I go, Dad, they won? He goes, they lost. I was like, oh, God.
I remember
My dad let me stay up late last night.
Why?
Huh?
I mean, that game was over.
I know.
That
but
game was over. At halftime, I went back. I was in the seminary. We were in our common area. We were watching the game. I'm like, okay, I'm turning in early. We have mass early in the morning. So it's like, I literally turned on another TV show. And then every now and then I switch, I go, oh no, this ain't happening. I'm like, this ain't happening.
Wanker bet.
I'm like, no. It was the only, the reason I say it's the worst is because the only time that I lost sleep over the Dolphins, that I didn't fall asleep that night. I finally turned the game back on full time when Testaverde threw to Jumbo Elliott to tie the game.
I just remember my dad screaming, and then I ran because I was watching in my room, and then ran, and then I just watched the rest of the game with him. I think I had slept in Miss Rodriguez's class the next morning, but who's to know?
So we come on. And then the best one, I mean, Rich Camarillo.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Greg
Really?
Camarillo.
Greg Camarillo, sorry.
The Ravens game.
The
or
Ravens
the,
game.
That's your-
no good.
I know, but
it's good. But I'm saying this is how bad we've
I'm gonna
been
say
in the
that's
last 25
sad.
years.
That's your number
Is
one.
that- no,
Jeez.
I have great memories being on the sideline and great victories. But there was something cathartic about that game. It's like we had this cloud over us the entire. Oh my goodness, the Detroit hadn't gone 0-16 yet. They didn't do that until a couple of years later. But as Joe Rose said on the broadcast, we don't want any part of that history.
Right.
And when Cleo Lemon throws that pass and he streaks up the middle and it costs Brian Billick's job.
Yep.
I mean, I remember jumping into my father's arms, and here's these two grown men just jumping up and down in the living room. It was like, no, but in terms of like Lamar Smith, our last playoff win, and that's a game I couldn't watch.
Against
I heard it on the
Manning.
radio. Mandich going crazy.
Yeah, against Manning
Against Manning.
I think that was Payne's first ever playoff game.
It was Peyton's first.
And this
ever
guy
play,
went
and
off
he
for
was torching
200
us.
yards.
He was torching us in the first half.
Funny anecdote about the Greg Camarillo game. I was playing poker at Miccosukee, 2-5 no limit at the time, and everyone went nuts.
Everybody did go nuts. It was a great. But yes, to Chris's point, for that to be the one that came to mind right now. Obviously, the 70 point game a couple years ago, that was great, but it was not much of a game. But the Buffalo game a couple years ago when we beat them down here, Dorsey throwing a tantrum.
The heat exhaustion.
The heat, yes, they still can't get over.
All
that.
of these happened while we were in our other seats, by the way. Just saying. All these good memories. Just saying. When we were on the east side
You
of
wanted to
the
change.
end zone. I understand.
you
I wanted
wanted
to
to
get
switch the seats,
I wanted to get
not
closer
me.
to Live, Father. But me and him are
There's
two.
nothing good happening in Live.
And we never go to Live. We're just those old men that think that they're going to go to Live, but we never go to Live. And so
The fact that you guys are calling yourselves old men is insulting me, but that's another story.
Well,
All right.
it is true though.
if you
We're
could
all
bring
getting older.
If you could bring back one former Miami Dolphins player in their prime to help today's team, who would it be and why?
To help today's team?
Yes.
Team.
Oh, my, Larry Little.
Wow, that's not.
Nice, throwing it back.
Yeah, I mean, you want an offensive lineman? Dwight Stevenson. My goodness. I mean, O-line.
Richmond Webb.
Listen, if the Philadelphia Eagles have taught, this is a copycat league. Why are we not copying the Philadelphia
You're
Eagles?
absolutely right.
That offensive line, going back to the time of Jason Kelsey, okay, that is dominant. I mean, you go back to the '90s Cowboys. Why Emmitt Smith had no business breaking Walter
What
Payton's
he
record,
was.
but he had an amazing offensive line. You go back to that. By the way, I looked at that question. I came up with the answer right now on the spot. I would have said Dan Marino, and that would have been the obvious answer for anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
But you talk about offensive line, and then of course, and then I'd bring back Zonka. I mean, Zonka just.
We would be getting 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
My
That's a good
dad
one,
would
too.
always say it. Is like Zonka is the only player to ever get called for intention for unnecessary roughness as an offensive player. To this day,
What a monster.
He was a monster. Like, I mean, I think that the only time that being down on the sideline, I brought my parents down and brought my dad down. I think the only time my dad was awestruck was when he met Larry Zonka. It's like, met Marino, all that stuff. But Larry Zonka, my dad was in high school when they were winning those, when we were going undefeated. So yeah, Larry Little, that offense, like Kuchenberg, should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
any
sure
true
did. He
Dolphins
sure
fan,
should.
though, has that feeling for Zonka. I mean, you talk to anybody, any old Dolphin fan, they're like, even my dad, he's like, Zonka, that's the only, Zonka. I'm like, Zonka stinks,
No, but
Dad.
Zonka
He was
doesn't
great.
stink.
He was great. He's great.
A
But,
Caucasian
Yeah.
running back,
I mean, I
they
was-
don't make those anymore,
yeah.
They don't.
So-
But you go back the blueprint. It's right there. It's building up. Now, mind
He's
you,
right there in front of
it's
you.
not. It's Don
Yeah,
Shula.
he
Yeah,
sure
it's
is.
not for lack of trying. Since Jake Long, and by the way, I defend that pick. Everybody said, "Oh, but Matt Ryan came right after." I defend that pick because Jake Long, when he was healthy, was a great offensive lineman.
It was him and Joe Thomas every year as the Pro Bowler, right?
Yeah.
Starting Pro Bowler for the AFC. He was on our team for 7 years or so.
Great human being.
Was a
Yeah.
staple on that offensive line. I agree with
When
you.
he got hurt, he
got hurt towards the end, but yeah, okay. Matt Ryan took his team for the Super Bowl. Should have won that Super Bowl, but Matt Ryan. I mean, when you talk about a left tackle,
I agree with you. The Matt Ryan Super Bowl was it Matt Ryan or was it Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator that year?
That's
You know?
another podcast.
He won an MVP.
So-
Yeah.
You could do a deep dive on the
That's the
history
first.
of that
That's the
Super Bowl.
first year with Mike Shanahan. First and only year with Mike Shanahan as the offensive coordinator. That's what got him his job as a
Kyle
49er.
Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan. So
We speak about this offensive line. I am very excited about Patrick Paul and Jonas Savainia,
Oh my-
in my opinion. I think the left side is shored up. And I'm just saying here, youth-wise, second-year player in Patrick Paul. You have Jonas Savainia, and they're going to be there for at least 3 or 4 years, God willing.
yeah,
Maybe you can help with that.
I mean, well, what's Austin Jackson's deal?
I read
He's,
today.
not,
that-
he's hurt.
I read today that they're not unsure if he's going to be ready for Week 1.
And
Here we
Larry
go.
Borum, I mean, woof. He had a
Woof.
bad game on
I
Saturday.
saw a meme of the 2020 draft and the grades. We had 3 picks. Other than two, we had 3 picks, and it was Tua, Austin Jackson, and Igby. Come on.
Why are you doing this? I
Yeah,
mean, we were talking about
yeah.
earlier about roster construction, and that's the start. Why does this guy still have a job?
Cam
Sorry,
Smith,
Chris. I'm sure he's a nice
second
guy
grade.
and everything, but we're going to go back to the questions here because you're going to get a rise out of me.
Go for it.
So, how have you seen the Dolphins culture or the fan base evolve since you started following the team?
Unfortunately, I think it's devolved because if I was talking to you guys when I had you in class all these years ago, back in 2000, and I told you back then in 2000, this town's gonna become a basketball town. This town's gonna become a hockey town. It was, oh, come on, what are you talking about? But unfortunately, the culture's still there. It's
It is.
ingrained in us. It's still there. It's like ready to explode. It's ready to erupt. If the team wins a playoff game, it'll start because I would see it when I was a kid. You would see it steamroll. The thing is that towards the late '90s, you guys are old enough to remember, we'd win that first playoff game and then do horrible in the
Something
second
would
playoff
happen,
game.
yeah.
And that was the worst thing in the world. Fire everybody. Jimmy Johnson doesn't know how to coach. We beat Seattle on the road. Dan Marino's last game, get blown out in Jacksonville. Okay, we beat Indy here at home. We get blown out in Oakland. You know that last time we won a playoff game, but we take that right now.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
take that, but I think it's devolved a little bit. But it's still there because when you guys were in elementary school, no one would dare wear a Patrick Mahomes jersey. My
Agreed.
nephew,
Yeah. Except for Joey, who wore, I think, like a...
Emmitt Smith, but he
Yeah,
doesn't
Emmitt
wear
Smith.
jerseys,
No,
but
I'm
he
saying,
has
but
one in his
Brett
closet.
my
Favre.
nephew bought a Patrick Mahomes jersey once. I'm like, what are you doing? No.
You know, the funny thing about, I'm glad you're here to bring this up. There's one time we're going from in St. Agatha, the church,
Right.
the old church,
Sure.
coming back to school, and he's talking about being, this guy right here, Ryan, talking about being a Chicago Bulls fan because of Michael Jordan and everything. I'm like,
But everybody
Ryan,
was.
you can't be a Bulls fan.
But
He goes,
everybody was. And
why
they
can't I be a
expected.
Bulls fan? I'm like,
Yeah.
because you got to be a Miami Heat fan. You
I
gotta
bought
be a
his
Miami
cologne.
fan.
Doesn't that make me a Bulls fan?
And
mean,
now
we're-
here he
we're-
is, Father Manny, preaching years
Yeah,
later.
but listen, it's called you back then in the '90s. You admired excellence, and whenever Michael Jordan was on TV, you just wanted to see excellence. That's why you would turn on a golf match to see Tiger Woods play,
yeah.
or now
Now
Scotty
Scotty.
Scheffler.
Yeah.
My God, that pitch yesterday.
And you know ball, you
Can't
know
believe that.
golf. I mean, you're incredible, man.
I was glued to the BMW yesterday. That was
that
epic.
chip shot by
That was
Scotty,
epic
and
yesterday. He is doing Tiger-esque things.
Yeah, you saw McIntyre just fold, like he just was.
He folded.
He
Yeah.
just
Folded.
on that on
shaking
17th.
with this guy behind him, and he's just so cool. Like he just.
He had a 4-shot lead going in.
I'm just gonna hit the ball and just do my
And-
thing,
and
and it
he's-
just
and he's-
happens. Yeah,
Routine is there.
Right.
But that's so important. Bringing it back to football, routine is so important. It's like everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to do the same things, and that's where you go to. Okay, no one's talked about it, but I want to bring this up because I don't know if I would have been able to do the traveling with the team. Yes, I traveled with the team when we had joint practices, but 10-day road trip.
Yeah, that's really tough.
I was like,
absolutely good point.
but
Between
no
the
one's
first
talked about this.
season,
It's
and first and preseason,
but it's like
first
remember the
preseason
Titans.
game.
Like that might bring your team together.
No,
you
and
might
listen,
you might
and
come
those
home
road-
as a
Right.
you know a good team.
Nice one, dude.
The first London game.
side.
The first London game we went
side.
to. We went to London my last 2 years. The first trip to London, obviously, it was more team building because we won the game. But the night before, not the night before, 2 nights before, they all went to an Arsenal game. You know, Jarvis Landry had his Arsenal kit on and all that stuff, and I'm like, I want to go. I didn't get the email that this was a possibility. I was walking the streets of London by myself. But yeah, it was good team building. I mean, and that's hopefully what happened.
Right.
And hopefully we see, but I'm like thinking 10 days away from home, practicing, you're not in your beds, you know. I mean, usually they're not in their beds during training camp, but it's like I didn't get it. Hopefully, I mean, that he wanted to go up against a Dan Campbell coach team, I respect that.
Right. But, well, first Ben Johnson and then Dan Campbell. You saw what Ben Johnson coming.
Both former Dolphin coaches.
Yeah,
You were there with them.
Yep.
You were there
I
on the
was with
sideline
both
with
of
them.
yeah. Ben Johnson was like the graduate assistant
Yeah.
on the team. He was Zach Taylor's assistant.
Which
When
is wild.
Now, the Joe Philbin coaching
Yeah.
tree is pretty impressive. I'm just saying. Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, Zach Taylor, and one of them's been in a Super Bowl. One should have been in a Super Bowl. You know,
I mean, Dan Campbell got the interim job.
he probably should have kept it.
Probably should
and then
have kept
last
it.
year you had Darren Rizzi, who I'm very close to, who should have kept the New Orleans job.
Yeah,
and that
you're
guy's
liked
close
him.
to Rizzi because
I'm
I
very
was
close to
dying
Rizzi.
for that guy to come back.
I-
Because we are the worst, the absolute worst
he's
in
all about,
challenges,
you know.
and he's so good at
He
challenges.
is great. In fact, when he was with Coach, he was the one that kind of was like the game manager. He was the one that you know said, yeah, he had his assistant special team coach was in the booth. He was the one that was feeding the information. They're back together in Denver now with Sean Payton.
Oh,
So
could have used that.
yeah,
And we needed a special teams coach over the summer. Though.
Yeah.
of course. Was he even
the
called
offseason.
at all, or
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
Yeah, I mean,
Common sense
it's-
stuff. I mean,
but
yeah, here we go.
we talk about a great coach. That's a great coach.
That's a
right
great
there.
coach. I
and
actually
the guys were running through a wall for that coach.
I actually had a conversation with someone that won't talk about on the pod, but I asked him if he has a possibility of maybe someday picking a coach, and I was like, hey, you know what? You should really look at Dan Rizzi. I was like, if you have a chance, that guy might be your next Harbaugh special team coordinator guy that just the team respects because he's lasted so many head coaches. So obviously everyone loved him.
Yeah.
I think it was time for him to move on as well, not just McDaniel wanting him to move on, but I think he's a good coach.
No, and the fact is that I don't understand. You see the success that John Harbaugh has had in Baltimore, winning a Super Bowl, you know, getting his team in position. If Lamar Jackson ever figures out, I don't get the hype. He doesn't do it in the postseason. That's another story.
We're not going to talk about this.
But I'm just saying, special teams coach, becoming a head coach, that people don't do it. They want the hot shot offensive mind, hot shot of defensive mind. No one look. They deal with the entire team.
yeah, you're absolutely right.
And they get the most out of their players,
They do-
right?
the thing is, And the thing is that when, they get the guys that are at the end of the roster to beat special teams, and then when guys get injured, he has to lose them and then plug in practice squad players to be special teams, and still had a level of excellence that we haven't seen since.
And they're so important because they have to do their job. If they do their job on special teams, it'll be a successful special team. So your point of having a routine that we need, that would be a great way to do it.
Darren Rizzi is responsible for the current kickoff format that we have, and it's not an NFL head coach. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But he's going to be a head coach someday, and he's going to do a great job. He should have kept the job in New Orleans. There was no reason. You can't tell me that Kellen Moore is better than Darren Rizzi. Come on.
But
It's a bad team. It's a bad team.
Yeah.
And he got a lot. He squeezed a lot out of that bad team last year.
Yeah.
But he's a good man.
What's your boldest prediction for the Dolphins this upcoming season?
I think we're going to be better than the prognosticators say. I mean, what is USA Today said it? We're going to be 5 wins,
5-11,
something like
5-12.
It's not going to be that bad. What I said earlier, there's too many skill positions. It's just maintaining they got to be on the field and maintain their health. But I don't think it's going to be that bad. Also, as I said earlier, and you said it, Ryan, the first half of the season is those games we should win. The thing is that, the others Vegas think we should win those games.
Yeah.
Do we have a line on the Indianapolis game yet? There should be one.
I don't know. I don't want to reopen up my Hard Rock account.
No, you could probably Google that. You don't have to open it.
Ryan's the one with the big back
I have
segment,
a Hard Rock
so.
account. I did it
Whoa!
twice. I did it twice, and I said that's enough for me.
Yeah.
I won one. Then I did a live bet on the Heat. We were up by 20 points. Oh, this is easy. And we blew that. Not only did we blow the 20-point game, didn't cover, we also lost the game. It was against Utah. I said that's enough for me.
Yeah, I've never done it, and I think it's a better idea not to.
No, it was $10 that I lost.
No, it's
not a
fine.
big deal.
It's
And I think
fine.
I did it one time. They did a boost or something like that. No, don't do it, folks. It's a little addictive. I mean, I am aware of the lines at all times. Tim
I got the
Reynolds-
week 1 line right here.
What is it?
Miami Dolphins are plus 1.5 on the road. Plus 105 money line. Over under is 46. So we are underdogs going into Indianapolis.
Maybe a little high for that game.
Yeah, 46 points.
That's kind of wild.
But plus 1.5 on the road?
What does Vegas know? They don't just
know
throw
a
out
lot.
numbers there, right?
As Brett Munster said, those boys in the desert, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know they don't even have a starting quarterback right now.
So, I'm looking
He
at the
came back.
schedule.
Anthony Richardson came back.
You're looking at the schedule. We're going to hold you to it. Give us a number. What's the record at the end of the year?
Indy win, New England win, Buffalo loss, Jets win, Carolina win, Chargers at home win. Tua always beats Justin Herbert. I don't get why people are enamored with
he's
Justin
more
Herbert.
superior.
He looks the part. He chokes in the playoffs. Now, Tua hasn't had the opportunity to choke in the playoffs because he has never started a playoff. No, he did start one
against the Chiefs.
Kansas City, but
Yeah.
I forget that game. Cleveland win. Falcons that's on the road loss. Baltimore on the road loss. Buffalo home. No, Buffalo. Sorry, Baltimore's here. Buffalo. I think that's
Buffalo's home on Thursday night.
That's that game. That's the one you got to win. That game. When's that game?
So you got to win it. But what is
win that game.
Then
Go to
Spain
for Washington.
No. You have Thursday night against Baltimore. On Thursday at home. Then you have basically a longer week to prepare for the Bills.
I think you win that game.
So which one? You're winning Ravens and Buffalo?
No, you win. You lose to Baltimore. You beat the Bills.
He's at 7 wins right now.
At 7 wins.
Then we go to Spain.
I think
my
Washington,
birthday's the 17th. So if you're going, we'll be there in Madrid.
God bless you. I have a big weekend here in the
coming
parish.
from the guy.
Yeah. So
it's big news here.
Here's something I thought
upgraded.
about. I thought about the Washington Commanders all off season. I don't think they're going to do as well as they did last year.
Sophomore slump.
I think we win that game. We beat the Saints definitely. Jets on the road. That's a
defense.
toss-up. Right now, how many wins am I at right now?
You're at 9.
You're 9.
So I'm already hitting the over for Vegas.
I mean, if you want this season to be
Pittsburgh,
anything,
you said you were going to be at that game?
no, that's an away game. I'm going to be at the Spain game.
The Spain game. Who told me they were going to be at the Pittsburgh? Somebody told me today they were going to be at the Pittsburgh game. Aaron Rodgers, I have no idea how he beat us last year. Bengals at home, that's...
You haven't given us answers on the Jets. Steelers.
So Jets we win. I don't trust that. Aaron Glenn's a great coach. I don't trust your quarterback situation. I don't trust Aaron Rodgers, but I think we lose that game. Bengals at home, we lose that game.
Sunday night.
Buccaneers here, we win that game. Patriots on the road, we lose that game. Sorry, where am I at?
11-5.
11 wins.
Well, that's a little too optimistic. For
11-6. Sorry,
because you know those division games are tough, but you gotta that first month, you gotta take 2 of those 3.
I'll tell you this much: if we're going into this with 11 wins, we're winning. We're beating the Patriots.
Oh no, for sure.
Like if at that point, that means everything went well. We're gelling correctly. We're gonna win that game.
Let me ask you a question. What do people see in Drake May that I don't see?
good question. Good question.
Because Drake May right now is a darling of ESPN.
He's very Daniel Jones. Remember Daniel Jones had a couple of years that
he
were.
won a playoff game.
We saw him live last year. He did not make
Drake May.
Yeah.
We saw that picture.
I don't get it. I mean, I see the quarterback of Washington. I see it in him.
No, that guy don't even.
That guy's great. I mean, Hail Mary through.
There's no.
That'll be a great game in Spain and a great atmosphere.
Yeah, I can't wait.
My development director is probably watching this is hating me. I didn't let her go because we have our school centennial mass that year. I go, you have to be here for that.
What do you mean?
I didn't say she couldn't go. I just said you have to be here for that. So it's like, but the Ravens and Bills back to back, and they didn't do us any favors.
No, the NFL knows what they're doing.
Right there.
Buffalo on Thursday night.
They wanted to be nice and give us a Thursday night game at home
with Buffalo. I mean, with Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, listen, he's a great player. Another great memory. That Tua coming back against the Ravens 2 years ago. That was an amazing game.
Yeah.
But Lamar Jackson, I don't get it in the postseason. Is it a coaching thing that they don't let Lamar be Lamar?
I mean, he's losing to the same guy.
I think it's Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
I think they're just superior to him, in my
another
opinion.
thing. Josh Allen should have been in a Super Bowl already.
He
And
should
I
have.
enjoy. I hate the Bills, but I love watching Josh Allen play. I really do.
He's a great player. He's limiting his mistakes of what he used to do,
be
right?
an
So he's
interception
getting
machine.
more efficient throughout the years. And the thing about him, Father, he doesn't miss games. He's always on the field.
amazing to me.
And I'm trying to do a reverse thing
we're
here
pray-
with the gods.
I'm
praying
here for
hallelujah.
this. The reverse Ryan Jenks.
Do you
is what
remember
I'm
this
looking
song,
for.
by the way? It is tú.
Yeah, we still
remember
sing
the song.
it.
They sing it all the time.
We still sing it.
It is tú.
No.
Eres
that was not on
tú
my
en
bingo
un
card for
trozo
tonight.
de pan en un poco
Wow,
de
Ryan breaking up the communion
vino.
classics from back in the day. La Misa de Cuba.
My favorite
Una
song
luz.
is "We Are One Body," but they don't sing that anymore.
That was the theme for World Youth, the theme song for World Youth Day back in 1993 in Denver.
That song is so.
We
We
sing it when
are
you guys were
one
there.
I used to love-
one body in Christ.
We may get Mike Golick's Jr.'s
we do
attention.
that?
He's always breaking out the Catholic school,
Oh,
school
really?
things all the time. Like whenever he opens up a bag of these tricked out Oreos, he goes, "Our God is an awesome God." He always, "Here I am, Lord." Take, he's always breaking that.
Yeah,
out.
Notre
Coach O.
Dame family, it makes sense,
Absolutely.
The Catholics.
Yeah.
Well, Father,
Well, wait, we're gonna end with one thing. We
here
have
we
this
go.
stadium here.
boy.
I didn't do this on purpose, but it just works out perfectly.
Okay.
Last year, a lot of times it happens. I'm walking out and I just curse at the fact that this stadium was built on
Indian burial ground.
Indian burial ground. Is there a possibility that we could just, pray to lift the curse somehow?
No, here's what we could do.
What can we do as
Destroy that stadium, destroy the Marlins Stadium, build the Orange Bowl again, and now we're talking.
okay, that's too much.
Yeah, so that means we're
and then-
screwed
I
forever.
walked into that
I mean-
stadium for 5 seasons, had a great parking spot that's now taken over by a tennis court, but that's another story. But would walk in there, would bless the team before the game. I remember Pete Carroll was a great story. Pete Carroll, I was on during pregame warm-ups. I'm there praying. I was kind of like at midfield. They'd let me go on to say hello to the players. And Pete Carroll comes by me and goes, "You're praying for both teams, Father, aren't you?" Like, yeah, Pete. I would pray that to be no injuries. I am praying for both teams, Coach. I still remember Pete Carroll. The you guys are too young. The Philadelphia, no, it was the Jets game against
Jets.
on the Monday night, and him going like this to Fuad Reves to Pete Stoyanovich. I'm really going back in the time, but I went in there. I would pray. I would literally with my foot do the sign of the cross on every single logo of every stadium that I walked into, and nothing, dude.
Doesn't work. So
it's like
you're telling us we can't lift the
now
curse.
LBO's here, so can we do something? Is there a penance that we should do?
I think we're living that penance,
yeah.
right? Give me a break.
Yeah, for real.
We're living that. No, but listen, it just makes it. so much sweeter when that moment does come, and it will come, because ChatGPT said it's going to come in the next 5 years. Okay, you read all these, it's such idiotic things, but it will come, and it's going to be. Listen, if I told you 6 years ago that our local hockey team would win back-to-back Stanley, because you would have laughed in my face, and this town would become a hockey town. Get out of here. The thing is that we need Barry Zito to be
we sure
GM
do.
of the Dolphins.
Yeah,
because that guy he does not miss.
Yeah.
He does not miss. But no, so yeah, everybody talks about it, and everybody complains about the stadium. I mean, listen, they did a great job renovating the stadium. They really did. I saw it happen while I was there. We've all had great memories there, baseball and football. We saw World Series there. I saw World Series game
Since they've broken ground on this stadium, the Dolphins have not made it to a Super Bowl.
No.
So if there's anything,
It was right after they went to a Super Bowl. They did that.
What do you mean?
It was 85. Was it January
Right,
95.
they broke down the ground while they were playing in that Super Bowl. So that mess of a Super Bowl against 49ers.
In Palo Alto.
So you know what? I mean, I've been asking for this for a while, but no one's been paying attention. I'm going to ask for this. Can we just put like a little plaque honoring the Indians that they were there, so that way they now feel good about being there? Okay, that's all I'm asking for. Just a little plaque. We'll go give it a prayer as well.
There's Miccosukee signage all over the place. I mean,
No. Those.
But the Miccosukee, they conquered the Tequesta Indians. We need the Tequesta Indians.
There
one,
he
okay?
is.
Come on, like
There
let's
he
do
is.
it for real.
We're going to put something together. We'll do a little, maybe
let's
my
do it.
kids can do something in arts and crafts, and then we'll go hide it somewhere during one of the
Anything
tailgates.
with all the beautiful things they've done.
Okay, we
It's
can
just
get
a little plaque. We're not asking for
is
much.
it beautiful though?
What?
The F1 and the tennis courts and all that stuff.
I mean, it's a great
It's
business
beautiful.
deal.
I mean, listen, Tom Garfinkel, and I say he is a genius.
Yeah, genius.
And the business side of it, we were talking about business with another team earlier before we went on the air, but business and savvy and bringing all these things, he is a genius in that, and he treated it so well. But I don't know why he can't translate to the practice
But
facility.
going outside, like you walk around the stadium, it's fun. It's a fun atmosphere. I think there's a lot of different areas that you can go to, that you can, drink, have games, do
I
different
haven't
things.
Get food.
since I went to a UM game before COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, it's changed a lot.
It's changed a lot. No, it's
Yeah,
like
it really has.
Because the thing is, I had great parking seats.
I know,
Parking spot and great seats.
The parking's parking is not
seats-
better.
The
The parking's worse. There's less parking.
okay.
But
no West 32 anymore.
there's still West 32, but there's less orange
It's
parking.
not like it used to be,
It's not
you know?
No, it's like, but the Canes tailgates are a lot better.
Yeah, they sure are. Yeah, the Dolphins tailgates are more family, right? But people come out. They get there early. They bring
really
out the
get there
food,
early.
the catering. I mean,
really get there
they're all in good spirits. But Father, on behalf of LBO, we would just want to say thank you so
Oh, it was a
much. We've
pleasure.
known
It
you
was a
for so
blast being
long,
here.
and this has been, just such a fun experience. Talking it up with you, some old ball, and we appreciate you, sir.
Yeah.
We knew that the when I taught you guys was the last time. What a playoff game!
Oh my
You guys
god.
were in sixth grade.
Well, maybe this will bring something back.
Hopefully, yeah.
Maybe
Listen,
it will.
If the Dolphins, win a playoff game this year, which making the playoffs is one thing. It's that hump. It's that psychological hump. You got to get over.
If they win 11 games, like you said, they'll have a chance to win the division and possibly win.
Then you're coming back on the pod.
No,
Listen,
you might be
as a
coming back
regular.
regardless.
11 wins. That may be a bridge too far, but hopefully, listen. Got to believe. That's what you had me on. Had to have faith, boys.
Gotta have faith.
Miracle has happened.
Absolutely.
And with that, I think remember to like and subscribe. Comment below. Give us your record for the end of the season. Sayonara, suckers.